Have you ever found yourself waking up in the morning with an unsettled stomach and wondering if this is just a normal part of getting older? Many of us over 65 feel that queasy rumbling more often than we'd like, maybe accompanied by bloating or occasional discomfort that pops up right after we eat. It's easy to dismiss these uneasy feelings as inevitable, but recent insights into senior digestive health suggest there's much more we can do to soothe our stomachs than we once thought. We've come a long way from the days when the only advice was, take a fiber supplement or avoid spicy foods. While those suggestions might help some people, there's a whole world of probiotic-rich foods that can make a noticeable difference in digestion, overall comfort, and daily enjoyment of meals. Many older adults face the challenge of diminishing gut resilience. After 70, our digestive tracts can become more sensitive, and the natural balance of healthy bacteria in our intestines may decline. When that balance is off, it's not uncommon to experience erratic bowel movements, gas, cramping, and even a dip in energy levels because our bodies aren't absorbing nutrients quite as efficiently. Why does this matter? Because a stable and thriving gut ecosystem is connected to far more than just digestion. It plays a significant role in our immune function, mood regulation, and even how restful our sleep feels. If you've been feeling off, sometimes the root cause starts in the gut. Addressing this issue can bring an immediate sense of relief and a longer-term boost to your overall wellness. Picture waking up without that tense feeling in your abdomen and going through your day with a steady, calm digestive system that doesn't demand your constant attention. Imagine enjoying a meal at your favorite family gathering without second-guessing every bite. That's the kind of transformation these 6 probiotic-rich foods can help guide you toward. They're not exotic miracle cures or difficult routines that require you to overhaul your entire diet. Instead, each one can be seamlessly woven into your daily eating habits. Whether you cook most of your meals at home or share dinner with friends at a local cafe, you might be wondering if these foods are truly different from standard healthy eating guidelines you've heard for years. The difference is in the living, beneficial bacteria they contain. Bacteria that can help restore balance in your gut and create a more comfortable, resilient digestive system. As a holistic wellness coach focused on senior health, I've seen older adults flourish when they integrate these foods into their routine. They report fewer issues with bloating, a more predictable schedule of digestion, and an overall sense of well-being that extends beyond the dinner table. Throughout our time together, you'll discover 6 specific probiotic-rich foods that you can incorporate into your life in simple, enjoyable ways. We'll challenge some of the common assumptions seniors may have, like believing fermented foods are always too sour or that adding new items to your diet might be risky for an aging stomach. Each of these foods has something unique to offer, and we'll explore easy ways to adapt them to your preferences or mobility levels. By the end, you'll see that you aren't stuck with an uncomfortable gut. There are practical steps to help you feel better, support your independence, and reclaim the joy that comes with truly savoring each meal. So get comfortable, maybe have a glass of water or a cup of tea nearby, and let's explore the first easy way to bring balance and comfort back into your life. Let's start with something a lot of us have in our fridges already: yogurt. It's a popular breakfast choice, but many people over 70 believe yogurt is just a standard dairy product without realizing what makes it so beneficial for gut health. The misconception often goes something like this: yogurt is just for younger folks looking to lose weight, or it's mostly sugar unless you go for the plain kind, which tastes bland. One senior I worked with, Joan, who's 74, admitted she used to skip yogurt entirely because she associated it with dieting magazines and ads she saw decades ago. She also worried about the added sugars in fruit-flavored varieties, and for years she just didn't think of it as something that could truly help her digestion. Then Joan noticed her favorite high-fiber cereal wasn't sitting well anymore. She'd feel bloated and heavy halfway through breakfast. Curious about a change, she decided to switch to a simpler morning routine: a cup of plain Greek yogurt with some fresh berries. Within a couple of weeks, she felt significantly lighter after meals. The beneficial bacteria in yogurt, namely lactobacillus and bifidobacterium strains, helped her gut process other foods more easily. If you're concerned about taste or sugar content, consider trying unsweetened yogurt and adding natural sweetness with fresh fruit. a drizzle of honey, or a sprinkle of cinnamon. Another approach is to include a small dollop of plain yogurt alongside your lunchtime salad, or even use it as a base for salad dressing. By mixing yogurt with herbs, lemon juice, and a bit of olive oil, you can create a tangy, probiotic-rich dressing that works wonders for digestion. From a physical standpoint, regular consumption of these healthy bacteria can promote more efficient nutrient absorption, which is especially important for older adults whose digestive efficiency might be declining. Emotionally, there's a sense of comfort in knowing you're fueling your body with something gentle, soothing, and beneficial. The stability you gain in your daily bathroom routine can be a huge relief, reducing those anxious thoughts about sudden discomfort after meals. If you're new to yogurt or haven't had it in a while, the key is to experiment. You might try different brands that feature the live and active cultures docile. Each brand has its own flavor profile, so you can find something that tastes pleasant without feeling like you're forcing something down for health reasons only. If you have issues with lactose, some yogurts are specially formulated to be lactose-free or very low in lactose, so this is still an option even if you typically avoid dairy. And as always, check with your healthcare provider if you have questions about how yogurt might interact with your specific medications or conditions. But for most older adults, yogurt can be that small yet significant step toward a calmer stomach and a happier mealtime experience. Moving on from yogurt, let's talk about a close relative, kefir. Kefir is a fermented milk drink, sort of like a thinner, drinkable yogurt, packed with even more diverse strains of good bacteria. Now, many seniors assume kefir is either too exotic or too tangy for them. There's a misconception that kefir is something only dedicated health enthusiasts would bother with. That's exactly what 67-year-old Harold thought. Harold was dealing with frequent acid reflux, and he'd read conflicting advice about whether dairy products were good or bad for reflux sufferers. He was also wary of anything fancy that might be overpriced or difficult to find. When we explored kefir as an option, Harold discovered it at his local grocery store. No special trip to a fancy health market required. He started with a plain version, experimenting by blending it with bananas and a touch of honey for a morning smoothie. In a month's time, Harold reported fewer instances of acid reflux, especially at night. The extra strains of probiotics in kefir seemed to help balance the pH of his digestive tract. One of the great things about kefir is that it usually contains around 10 to 20 different types of probiotic cultures, more than typical yogurts. This variety can be especially beneficial for seniors who have been on medications that might disturb their gut flora, such as antibiotics or certain long-term prescriptions. By introducing a broader range of good bacteria, kefir may help rebuild a more robust internal environment. It also offers a dose of protein and calcium, which are valuable for maintaining muscle mass and bone health as we age. If you worry about a tangy flavor, you can blend kefir with naturally sweet fruits like peaches, berries, or melons. If you can tolerate dairy, kefir can become a versatile ingredient in soups, swirled in at the end for a creamy finish, or even as a marinade to tenderize chicken. Each of these approaches not only enriches the taste of your dishes, but also adds a beneficial boost for your gut. Emotionally, adding kefir to your diet can feel like a bold, positive choice that reminds you it's never too late to try something new. Often, the sense of empowerment that comes from exploring foods beyond your comfort zone is as valuable as the physical benefits. That's something Harold noticed too. I didn't think I'd want to try anything that sounded fancy, but once I saw how it helped, I realized being open-minded can really pay off. This sense of personal growth, where you actively participate in keeping your body comfortable, can bring a renewed appreciation for the simple joy of eating without discomfort. If you're ready for a test run, pick up a small bottle of kefir on your next grocery trip. Give yourself the chance to see how your stomach responds. It could be the extra spark your digestive system needs. Before we dive into our next foods, I'd love to hear your thoughts so far. Have you tried yogurt or kefir recently? Is there a particular flavor or recipe that caught your interest? Feel free to share your experiences in your own words, whether it's something you love or a hesitation you have. Engaging with each other's stories can help us all discover new approaches to feeling our best. Now let's look at another category of probiotic stars, Fermented vegetables. Sauerkraut is one you might already know quite well. However, a lot of older adults associate sauerkraut with hot dogs at ballparks or family cookouts from the past, rarely seeing it as a powerful digestive ally. There's a lingering belief that sauerkraut is too acidic or may not be healthy enough given its salty, pungent reputation. But let's take 73-year-old Louise as an example. She used to love sauerkraut in her 50s, but after being diagnosed with hypertension, she cut it out because she worried about the sodium content. Over time, she started experiencing more constipation and general gut sluggishness. When she learned that raw, unpasteurized sauerkraut, the kind found in the refrigerated section rather than on a canned shelf, could provide a potent dose of probiotics, she decided to look for low-sodium or reduced salt versions. She discovered that portion control, along with rinsing the sauerkraut lightly, could make it fit into her sodium-conscious diet. Within a few weeks, she noticed more regular, comfortable digestion, feeling less of that heavy or blocked sensation after meals. Sauerkraut's probiotic benefits mainly come from the lactobacillus family that thrives in the fermentation process. This process also transforms the cabbage, making it easier to digest than raw cabbage for many seniors. For those who deal with occasional gas or bloating, the fermentation can break down some of the fibrous elements that might otherwise be harder on the stomach. If you're watching your sodium intake, look for brands specifically labeled as low salt, or make your own small batch at home where you can control the salt content. Simple recipes often require just cabbage, salt, and thyme, plus a little patience while it ferments. If you're worried about it tasting too sour, combine sauerkraut with a sweeter vegetable like shredded carrot, or add a small spoonful to a sandwich for a pleasant crunch. You might also try mixing it into soups near the end of cooking. The warmth of the soup balances the tanginess, and you get a gentle probiotic lift. In addition to the physical rewards, incorporating sauerkraut can bring back fond memories of family gatherings or cultural traditions, providing an emotional connection to your past. By adapting an old favorite to fit your new health goals, you can find comfort in knowing that aging doesn't mean giving up the flavors you enjoy. It means discovering new ways to savor them, boosted by the knowledge that they're working to support your gut health. And when the digestive system is more comfortable, many seniors report feeling more energetic throughout the day. It's like shedding an invisible weight and rediscovering a lighter, more at-ease version of yourself. Speaking of fermented vegetables, kimchi is another that deserves the spotlight. Some seniors think kimchi is simply too spicy or too foreign to incorporate into a daily meal plan. Indeed, kimchi often comes with chili peppers and strong seasonings, and this can seem intimidating if you're not used to such flavors. Take Robert, age 71, who had always stuck to a fairly mild diet. He'd heard of kimchi but assumed it would upset his stomach rather than help it. After all, how could something spicy assist with digestive issues? But as it turns out, not all kimchi is extremely hot, and many variations allow you to control the level of spice. Robert tried a milder version from a local Asian grocery store that used fewer chili peppers. Over time, he realized the probiotics from fermented cabbage, radishes, and other vegetables in kimchi were aiding his digestion in a similar way that sauerkraut does. The difference was that it also introduced him to new flavors, awakening his palate. Rather than feeling irritated, his stomach felt more regulated, and he actually started enjoying the extra zing in his meals. Kimchi is typically rich in vitamins A, C, and B, and it can also include garlic, ginger, and other ingredients known for their anti-inflammatory properties. This is valuable for older adults who may be dealing with joint stiffness, mild inflammation, or lowered immunity. The fermentation process creates a gut-friendly environment, and the variety of vegetables in kimchi can contribute to a broader spectrum of nutrients than a single vegetable alone. If you're worried about spice, look for white kimchi or ones labeled mild. You might start by adding just a small side dish alongside rice, chicken, or fish, gradually introducing your taste buds to these robust flavors. If it still feels too pungent, mixing kimchi into scrambled eggs or tossing it into a vegetable stir-fry can, dilute the heat while keeping the probiotic benefits intact. Emotionally, trying kimchi can symbolize an adventurous spirit, proof that you can still surprise yourself and others with your willingness to explore. For Robert, discovering kimchi at 71 felt like a culinary renaissance. He soon found himself browsing online recipes, testing out different kimchi-based soups, and sharing jars with his neighbors. That sense of engagement and curiosity can be a powerful motivator for staying active and connected. And from a practical health perspective, adding another fermented food to your routine expands the variety of beneficial microbes you introduce to your digestive system. Each time you sample a new batch of kimchi, you're giving your gut a different, possibly more diverse probiotic blend. At this point, you've heard about some of the classic fermented stars. I'd love to know, what's your favorite way to enjoy fermented vegetables? Or if you've never had them, what's holding you back? Sometimes sharing our food journeys can inspire creative ideas for others. Feel free to think about a dish or a recipe that might pair nicely with these new possibilities. Who knows, maybe a small sprinkle of kimchi on a grilled cheese sandwich or a spoonful of sauerkraut with your favorite soup could open the door to better digestion. Let's move on to something a little different. Miso. Miso is a fermented soybean paste commonly used in Japanese cuisine. Many older adults have encountered it only in the form of miso soup at restaurants, typically as a light appetizer, but it's actually a versatile ingredient that can do far more than act as a starter soup. Unfortunately, a common misconception is that miso is extremely high in sodium and therefore off limits. This concern is understandable, especially for those monitoring their blood pressure. However, there are low-sodium varieties, and much like sauerkraut, portion control can help miso fit into a balanced diet. We can also consider how miso contributes probiotics that improve gut flora, potentially helping with digestive comfort, nutrient absorption, and even immune health. Take the story of Marianne, a 69-year-old who was dealing with frequent fatigue. She chalked it up to aging, but her friend who practiced holistic cooking suggested Marianne consider her gut health. Marianne had tried probiotic supplements, but she was looking for something more food-based and flavorful. Her friend taught her how to whisk a spoonful of miso paste into lukewarm broth, making sure not to boil it, since high heat can kill the beneficial bacteria. After a few weeks of sipping this gentle soup in the evening, Marianne found she had fewer episodes of bloating. She also reported feeling more relaxed, attributing part of it to a soothing bedtime ritual and part of it to an overall improved digestion that let her sleep more soundly. If you're curious about incorporating miso into your routine, you could start with the classic soup approach. Just remember to add the paste to warm, not boiling, liquid. You can also experiment with salad dressings or marinades. For instance, miso can be combined with rice vinegar, ginger, and a little sesame oil to create a tangy dressing for your greens. This technique lets you enjoy the savory depth of miso without overdoing the sodium. From a health standpoint, the fermentation process creates enzymes and bacteria that can help break down your food more effectively, reducing digestive strain. Emotionally introducing miso can bring a sense of calm and ritual to your meals. There's something grounding about a warm bowl of soup that you slowly sip at the end of the day. Of course, it's wise to read labels and keep your healthcare provider informed if you're managing blood pressure or other conditions. But if you've been nervous about trying miso because of its reputation for saltiness, exploring low-salt options or using smaller amounts can bridge the gap. By finding a balance that works for you, you can relish the rich flavor and comforting properties of miso while still supporting your health. Next, let's venture into a fizzy realm, kombucha. Many seniors see kombucha as a trendy beverage for younger generations, something sold in fancy bottles with bright labels in health food stores. The misconception might be that kombucha is too acidic, sugary, or just plain odd. It's true that kombucha has a tangy taste, often lightly sweetened by natural sugars that the fermentation process partially consumes. But let's look at the experience of Glenn, age 72, who had struggled with feeling sluggish after meals. He also dealt with the occasional afternoon energy crash. A friend recommended kombucha as a refreshing alternative to soda. Glenn was skeptical, but he decided to try a ginger-flavored kombucha, sipping it slowly as an afternoon pick-me-up. Within a few weeks, Glenn noticed he wasn't experiencing the same bloating that typically followed his post-lunch cup of coffee. He found the slight fizz of kombucha to be gentler on his stomach than carbonated sodas, and the probiotic cultures seemed to help keep his digestion on track through the latter half of the day. If you're wary of the sugar content, keep in mind many brands now list their sugar levels clearly. You can choose varieties with lower sugar or experiment with diluting kombucha by mixing it with sparkling water. You might also opt for flavors like lemon, ginger, or raspberry that offer a more natural tartness without needing extra sweeteners. Physically, introducing kombucha can help repopulate your gut with healthy bacteria, potentially improving regularity and reducing uncomfortable gas. On the emotional side, it can be a fun, refreshing change if you've grown tired of water or herbal teas. The light effervescence can make you feel like you're enjoying a special treat rather than restricting yourself to dull health beverages. As with all probiotic foods, moderation is key. If you're taking certain medications that affect acidity levels in your stomach, it's wise to ask your healthcare provider whether kombucha is suitable for you. Some individuals might find that too much acidity irritates their gut, so start with a small amount, a half cup, and see how your body responds. The diversity of kombucha flavors is another bonus. You can explore various brands or even learn to brew your own at home if you're feeling adventurous. That kind of exploration can spark creativity and a sense of accomplishment, proving that even in your later years, you can still discover new beneficial habits. As you reflect on these 6 probiotic-rich foods, yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, miso, and kombucha, notice how each one brings its own unique set of flavors, traditions, and benefits. Some might fit seamlessly into your current diet, while others might require a bit of experimentation. The overall theme is that by nourishing the beneficial bacteria in your gut, you can create a smoother, more comfortable digestive experience. That translates not only to feeling better in your day-to-day life, but also to improving how you absorb nutrients, which in turn can elevate your energy and mood. All 6 points highlight the fact that your body still has the capacity to adapt, heal, and thrive when given the right inputs. You're not stuck with discomfort or restricted to bland foods just because you've crossed a certain age threshold. In many ways, you have more freedom than ever to make choices that serve your well-being. Each of these probiotic foods invites you to engage your taste buds, try new recipes, and rediscover the pleasure of eating without distress. Let's take a moment to consider the positive outcomes that could be in store if you begin incorporating these foods into your daily or weekly routine. Regularity in digestion may reduce the anxiety or inconvenience of sudden discomfort. Improved absorption of vitamins and minerals can play a supportive role in everything from joint health to mental clarity. Perhaps most importantly, there's a boost in your overall quality of life when mealtimes become relaxing and enjoyable again. If you've ever felt that knot of worry in your stomach about whether certain foods will cause problems, imagine the relief of feeling confident in what you eat. It's easy to put off dietary changes, thinking, I'll do it next month, or I'm too set in my habits. But the truth is, every day you wait is another day of potential discomfort. Starting even one of these probiotic foods this week can be the first small but powerful step toward long-term improvement. You don't need to add them all at once. Choose the one that feels the most appealing or accessible. If sauerkraut resonates with your memories, pick up a jar. If you love smoothies, maybe kefir is your starting point. Over time, you could gradually incorporate more variety to maximize the range of beneficial bacteria you introduce into your system. If you're feeling adventurous, set yourself a simple challenge. Try one new probiotic recipe in the next few days, whether it's a small miso soup, a bowl of yogurt topped with fresh fruit, or a mild kimchi stir-fry. See how your body responds and pay attention to any improvements in how you feel. After all, tangible results, like reduced bloating, more energy, or just the joy of discovering a new favorite meal, are the greatest motivators to keep going. Should you want to deepen your experience, consider sharing your results with a friend or family member who might also benefit. Building a small community around healthier eating can make the journey more fun and keep you accountable. And if you're comfortable online, there are plenty of senior-focused forums and communities where people swap fermented food recipes and digestion tips. Whether you prefer in-person connections or digital ones, being able to compare notes and celebrate small victories can lift your spirits and reinforce positive momentum. Feel free to take these suggestions in whichever direction fits your life best. You have the knowledge and the power to shape your dietary choices in a way that supports comfort and joy. And that's the real message here. Living well after 70 doesn't have to be a battle against your body. It can be a gentle partnership where you supply your gut with helpful, nourishing foods, and in return, your gut helps you move through life with less stress and more vitality. By stepping into this partnership, you're not only caring for yourself today, but investing in the kind of well-being that allows you to stay active, engaged, and truly savor the years ahead. If you're ready to take action now, start with one probiotic addition this week. If you're feeling extra motivated, introduce a second one the following week. And if you'd like more resources, there are plenty of books, articles, and community classes that delve deeper into fermentation and senior nutrition. Above all, trust that these changes, though simple, can make a profound impact when integrated consistently. Remember, you deserve to enjoy your meals and feel comfortable in your own body. Here's to turning the page on tummy troubles and embracing a nourishing, flavorful chapter in your life.